Hey everybody, this is Brandon Luna with Cigars and Cinema, Love to Hate, and Kiefer for Prez. Today's episode is sponsored by Nat Sherman Premium Cigars. With such great cigars in their lineup as the 93-rated Timeless Dominican, 92-rated Timeless Nicaraguan, 96-rated Host Maduro, and the brand new 91-rated Metropolitan Habano, every time you reach for a Nat Sherman, you're going to get a quality cigar. So ask for Nat Sherman Premium Cigars at your local cigar lounge. You won't be disappointed. Today's episode is sponsored by Calypso Cigar Shop and Lounge in Richardson, Texas, one of Dallas-Fort Worth's premier cigar lounges. If you haven't been there yet, go check it out. Off of I-75 and Arapahoe, it has one of the largest humidors in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, filled with some of the best cigars on the planet. They also have a beautiful lounge you can sit at and enjoy your cigar. So go visit Matt and the crew at Calypso Cigar Shop and Lounge, located at 1002 North Central Expressway, Suite 589 in Richardson, Texas. And hey, if you're not in the area, give them a call at 972-761-9903. That number again, 972-761-9903. Love to Hate, the podcast that asks the question, what do you love to hate?
You are a smelly pirate hooker, and I hate your ass face!
Do you love it?
No!
Do you hate it?
Oh, yes! Yes! You stupid, ignorant son of a bitch, dumb bastard! I chart in your general direction!
No more foreplay.
Hey kids, it's Monday. It's time for another episode of Love to Hate. I'm sitting across from Brandon Luna. You are sitting across from?
Philip Fullman.
Hey kids.
That's weird. We didn't introduce ourselves. It was like we introduced each other.
I know, you like
Is
that?
Well, that could work, yeah.
All right.
Your name does sound pretty cool coming out of my voice.
You say it better than I do.
All right.
So, what do we love to hate today?
You know what? MTV. What the hell happened to MTV?
I can't even do the sound.
Yeah.
MTV used to be cool.
Yeah, it used to be the thing, man.
I don't think kids even watch it anymore.
I still hear people talk about like ridiculousness and shows like that. But other than that, not so much. You know, it's just it's become kind of a backseat. Put it this way. They say that video killed the radio star, right?
Right.
Now digital media has killed the video star because nobody goes to MTV to get their new music anymore. They go to iTunes, they go to Pandora, they go to all these other places. And for that matter, MTV doesn't even premiere the new videos anymore. They go straight to Vivo or whatever on YouTube.
Do people still make videos?
Yeah, they still make them. I mean, Beyonce was up for an Emmy for her long-form music video. They made a movie out of her album or whatever.
Huh.
And she got all upset that she didn't win.
See, that's how out of it I am.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. I mean, that used to be something I would come home from school and was like be excited to watch.
Oh, yeah. I mean, MTV used to be all about the music videos. It was the way you got your new music and how you were introduced to things.
You could get your, the top 10 videos of the day, most requested, things like that. And now nobody really talks about it anymore. It's just become another generic TV channel.
It's pretty bad when MTV has to have other channels to show music videos on now because they don't show them on MTV. So MTV, like I guess 10 years ago or whatever, launched MTV Classic, which was one of the VH1 channels they took over. And basically now that's where they show classic music videos.
Is VH1 Classic still a thing?
I think that's now MTV Classic.
Okay.
So, yeah, they changed it. So
okay.
So that's where they show music videos for the most part. But if you look at the lineup on MTV now, everything is TV shows, reality TV shows, game shows, whatever. There's not a single stretch of music videos until 3 a.m. in the morning.
Really?
That's it. That's the earliest they show music videos. That's horrible. I mean, that's like a far
it's not
cry
really,
from where it started.
It's not music television. I remember when they first put remote control on. That was their first.
Ken Ober and Kari War. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
back in the day.
I remember
she was
Kari
hot.
War. Yeah. Colin Quinn was on there too.
He was, yeah.
But yeah, that was the first thing they did that was non-music video related.
I think even Adam Sandler was on there at some point. He was on one of those shows.
Yeah, I think he was on Remote Control.
Yeah.
So it gave a lot of people their start, but then I think that was the beginning of just kind of the end of the music video. And I don't know why that really happened. I guess people just quit watching videos, or they just viewership was down.
I think when iTunes, MP3s, and all kind of became a thing.
But it was already gone before then.
Yeah. I don't know when the changeover was. Yeah, but I mean, it just other people started jumping in the mix. So MTV was kind of unique at the time, And then like ABC, TBS, they all started having their own shows. Like
you remember NBC had Friday Night Videos?
Friday Night Videos, yeah, that was one.
But nothing. It was like an hour show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Night Flight on USA Today.
Night Flight was awesome.
Or on USA. Yeah, but you never had like that extended all-day watching.
Yeah, no. Not like MTV.
No,
but,
nothing.
Yeah.
And now you can't find it at all. But, I mean, it fits now. I mean, it makes sense that, everybody's just going to pick up YouTube or something like that to watch a video. But, yeah, what happened to it? Why did it become that thing?
Oh, it sucks now. That's all I can say.
Yeah, because now you have the MTV Music or not Video Music Awards, but the Movie Awards.
Yeah,
but they do like a movie award show.
They do. That's the only time you hear about MTV now. It's like the only time it ever gets any kind of notice on the internet is when there's something that happened at the Music Video Awards or something that happened at the Movie Awards, and that's it. That's the only time you ever hear about MTV anymore. So beyond the occasional show becoming a hit, people talk about it. But other than that, it's the shows. It's not music anymore. It's like there was something about a year ago that I remember seeing. My dad had DirecTV or something called Palladium, and it was from Canada, and they showed music videos all day and concerts. And I'm like, okay, well, this is what MTV should be, and MTV bought it. Now it's called MTV Live, and they screwed it up, and there's TV shows on there and stuff now too. I'm like, oh, thanks a lot.
There's some local, I think it's a Mark Cuban owned channel they'll show live concerts. I can't think of the name of it, but they'll show live concerts. They've had some pretty good concerts on there.
Yeah,
but there, there's more channels that are doing stuff like that, kind of fill in the gap. But it's not like
MTV was a phenomenon.
What is that thing? Yeah, because it shaped you as an impressionable high schooler. It was hey, this is the stuff that you should think is cool and try to emulate and be cool like this. Mm-hmm. And, I don't know where kids find that now, but that was kind of the thing of like, oh, I want a jacket like that. I
dress like Michael Jackson in the Beat It video. And
no,
whatnot.
I was never that guy.
No, I didn't want to do that either.
No,
but people did. They were all over.
I was like, look, I'm a rhythmless white guy.
Yep.
Although, to be fair, Michael Jackson did dye white, so
yeah, he did. He definitely did.
Not that far apart, but I could never manage those dance moves.
You remember the old VJs, man? Those were the people that you.
Let's see. Tell me if I get this right.
Okay.
J.J. Jackson.
Yes.
Mark Hunter, or there's Mark Goodman, Alan Hunter.
There you go.
Nina Blackwood.
Yep.
And the girl with the short black hair, Martha Quinn.
There you go. You got it. Well done.
See, that influenced
me. So here comes the question. Martha Quinn or Nina Blackwood? Ooh. Because everybody had their favorite.
I guess if I was going to date somebody and maybe have a girlfriend, Martha Quinn.
Martha Quinn would be the date?
Yeah.
Nina Blackwood would be the girl in the bathroom on a hot summer night when you're too drunk.
Which oddly she looks like. She just did a Time Life, songs of the 80s or whatever thing. Mm-hmm. And we have Ghost. And she looks rough.
Does she? Yeah. She looked skanky.
Well, and her look hasn't changed yet. No, she did look skanky hot.
She had the dirty skanky kind of rough girl voice, that was kind of sexy.
Which a lot of people have tried to take.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you listen to the radio now, they all try to have that, I smoke up 3 packs a day.
Exactly, yeah.
It just doesn't work. It worked for her.
It did work for her, yeah. To me, she was the one I wanted to fuck more than date. I guess you'd call it that, but to put it crudely, yeah. But Martha Quinn was definitely the girl next door, the one everybody wanted to.
She was so cute.
She was so cute. And
do you remember Kennedy?
Oh yeah, Kennedy's.
She's on Fox
all
News
over.
now.
I know.
She's on Fox News.
And that was back then. She wasn't really that hot. I mean, she was hot in that kind of Daria kind of way, but not in the way that she is now. Now
she went through the Fox News machine.
Yeah, now she's
you go in one
sexy.
way, you came out looking the other.
Yeah, now she's all kinds of sexy. Oh yeah.
Makes you wonder what Rupert Murdoch promised her.
Exactly.
Like not Rupert Murdoch. It was Roger Ailes.
Roger Ailes. There you go.
Yeah, he was the one who was perving on the women.
Right. It's funny because you see that show at a cigar shop sometimes. Like they watched it over at Michael's and Euless a lot. And those guys were just like, "Oh man, she's so sexy." I was like, she was on MTV. Like, what? You like tell them that? Like, how old is she? I'm like, well, she was probably in her
She was wearing a
T-shirt
and bib overalls at the time. But,
right. She didn't look anything like that. But.
No, I still thought she was kind of cute, just because she was quirky.
I did too.
Yeah, and then who was they had another guy come on. He was supposed to be like the metal guy, long blonde hair.
The guy looked like I'm talking about the guy
black
looked like
leather
Fester.
jacket.
The bald guy looked like Fester that did
No,
120 minutes.
not him. No, this was he had like this big blonde, blow dried.
Yeah, I know who
hair.
you're talking about, but I don't remember his name at all.
No, and like I said, just the black leather jacket, and it was like, hey, I'm kind of the cool guy. And then they did Headbangers Ball. Then they had Yo MTV Raps, not really my thing. What was it? They did a dance show for a while.
Yeah, they had a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was kind of, they would intersperse clips of the video with shots of people dancing, and that was with Downtown Julie Brown.
Downtown Julie Brown.
The precursor to Scary Spice, or
yeah,
whatever spice out, or Sporty, or one of the spices.
Definitely precursor to Scary Spice, yeah.
Sage or fennel,
She did
I don't
Playboy.
remember. Did she really?
She did, yeah.
Didn't she the one? Oh, Julie Brown did?
Julie Brown.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the Spice one.
No, Julie Brown did Playboy.
Okay.
After she was off MTV.
Everybody does Playboy at some point.
And then MTV involved us in reality TV back in 1992.
Right.
And we already had that discussion, but
Yeah,
Real
Real
World,
World.
Road Rules singled out a whole bunch of other stuff. Jon Stewart's show was on there. I didn't know that. And Loveline.
That's
Loveline
right.
was fun.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's where we first learned of Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Yep. Which, I mean, it did bore some interesting things, as far as the reality side of shows. I thought the Osbournes was relatively entertaining for a little bit there, but
Never watched it.
Punk'd was stupid. Pimp My Ride, remember that
Oh,
one?
yeah.
But that was, that was so 92, yeah. So 92
Is that where they
was really
showed
where it
Jersey
started.
Shore?
I don't know. Probably, yeah.
I don't know.
But 92 is really where it started with the downfall of the music side of things, and then straight into more television shows than music. So, yeah. They had Ashley Simpson's show. I mean, they had shows for everything. Laguna Beach.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't they do a show now called Teen Wolf?
They do.
I think
they have a
do.
Teen
And
Wolf
it's
show.
like it's not like the fun Michael J. Fox version. It's like some
No, it's-
Twilight-like version.
Yeah, Randy watches it.
Huh? I'm judging you right now, Randy.
Right.
Who you can also hear on your other podcast.
Exactly, yeah.
What is it called this week?
Cigars and Cinema.
Cigars
Screw
and
you,
Cinema.
sir.
Well, no, you've changed it a couple of times. It's
know,
Cigars
yeah.
and Cinema still.
Cigars
I know
and
you had a
Cinema,
format thing, so.
Yeah. Liquid Television. Remember that? That was back when they started showing all the animated stuff, and that's kind of where Beavis
yeah.
and Butthead came from.
Yeah, that's right.
And Beavis and Butthead was a big
And there was
deal
the
on
other
there
one,
for a while.
Aeon Flux. Was
Aeon
that on
Flux, Celebrity Deathmatch was pretty interesting, and then Daria. Daria had a pretty long run.
there? I did like Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. Beavis and Butthead was good stuff.
They were awful.
Apparently, Patrick Stewart's a big fan of Beavis and Butthead. That's an odd little factoid, but true.
Yeah, because we rock.
Right. Yeah. Shut up, Beavis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite line on that whole show was like, "Hey, Beavis, quit playing with yourself." He's like, "No, I'm not. I'm getting my lighter." He's like, "You've been getting it for 30 minutes."
Yeah, it's fun stuff, man. I liked that show a lot. It was stupid but fun. And then the movie was just kind of, they jumped the shark
Well, and
with
then
the movie.
think of what Matt Judge has done since then, because you had a character on there who was basically the precursor to Hank Hill from King of the Hill.
Yep.
Then he went on to do
You the
one
boys
of-
that been whacking in my shed?
Exactly. He went on to do Office Space, and then Idiocracy, which plays out like Prophecy.
Exactly.
So yeah, Matt Judge has gone on to a big career since then. Mm-hmm. So
And
it was kind of a launching pad for him.
There wasn't, MTV had its time with censorship and all these things that happened.
Yeah.
And, they got
Ooh,
into
the controversial video.
the controversial videos, and they started adding the TVMA and stuff on things.
Yeah.
And all this other crap.
Hey, so do you think that it gave, because of when it came about in the 80s, which not necessarily a strong time musically, pop-wise, do you think that it gave some credence to some one-hit wonders that you wouldn't have, that would never have even been one-hit wonders on the radio?
Yeah, I think it definitely did.
Because it began changing radio formats, and you began formatting and playing songs that were hot on MTV.
Correct, yeah.
So, I mean, would you really be listening to Glass Tiger sing Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone on pop radio if it wasn't for the video? Or do you think it still would have made it?
I think that did have some, like prime example, Right Said Fred. I mean, that song was ridiculously stupid. Macarena was another one.
Yeah.
It just ridiculously stupid, but the videos captured people, and they they liked it and it became a thing. You know, the Macarena should have never been on the radio. It should just not, at least not in the U.S. It was a horrible, horrible song that became this thing. So
now I think the first video they showed, the Buggles video killed the radio star. I think that was very prophetic because it did kill the radio star. And there's a prime example of it. Milli Vanilli. Mm-hmm. Now, people who bought the albums and then later burned them or ran them over with their car or whatever, when radio stations would do that as a big promotion. Prior to that, to finding out, hey, these guys aren't singing, the people who were fans loved the music. They loved listening to it. You know, they bought the CDs, they bought the cassettes. They enjoyed the music. But then you'd see these two athletic dudes dancing in the video. And the only reason they had to have them dance in the video is because somebody said nobody wants to watch two middle-aged dudes and a woman sing this song. It's not visually appealing. Mm-hmm. But apparently the sound was great for people who like that sound.
Right.
But they had to change the image. So that I think is a direct result of video killing the radio star, because these people could have been a hit in any other era with their music and their talent.
Exactly.
They just didn't look right. Look at the back cover of Boston's first album.
Right.
Boston is a big selling album. I like it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of like a staple of 70s rock radio. Not a good looking bunch of guys.
Yeah. Well,
would they sell in the 80s? Could you put them out there and go, hey, this is great? Oh, I don't like this song.
It couldn't sell in pop music, but it could sell in heavy metal. Look at all the 80s heavy metal guys. Not a good looking bunch. You know, look at Iron Maiden. Look at the Scorpions. They were all 40-somethings, you know, over the hill. Looked like they'd been doing it for 20 years already. Scraggly hair, not attractive.
Well, they had been.
You know, and it wasn't really until Bon Jovi came into play that everybody's like, oh, well, this guy's attractive and he's got the hair and everything. Then guys like Scorpions and the other guys started dropping off, and you saw more guys like, you know, Bon Jovi and Poison and Cinderella.
Motley Crue.
Yeah, exactly. So it did definitely change the radio star. It definitely changed the way we perceive music. Music wasn't auditory anymore. It was auditory and visual.
True. Well, and I think it changed, a band like Great White. They became more poppy because of MTV.
Yeah. To
get stuff, airplay. And like you said, you've got the middle-aged guys going out trying to look like they're much younger. Uh-huh. So that was a huge change.
Yeah, it definitely was a huge change. But pop's always been pop. You always got to be pretty when you're singing pop. I mean, that's just the way it is.
That's true.
CNC Music Factory did the same thing. They had the big fat girl singing the Everybody Dance Now line. But when they did it in, concert or whatever, they had that little skinny girl in the music video that was belting it out. She was lip syncing, So until she proved that she could sing okay-ish, Did
MTV bring about the advent of lip syncing and the way they do things in concerts, do you think?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Definitely with pop stars like, Britney Spears and Madonna and those people. It was all about, Janet Jackson, all about the dance moves and the choreography. You want to see what's replicated. When you want to see the music video replicated on stage, when they're doing that music video, they're not singing, it's lip syncing, and they can do all these dance moves and huff and puff, and it doesn't matter because they're not putting the effort to actually sing. When you get on stage, it's a different issue, So most people, the shows became, you're basically seeing a music video on stage. You're not even really listening to them sing unless there's a couple songs that are slower and they'll sing those. But that's it, yeah. So.
I remember I was in Kansas City, and my boss at the time, she was a Tim McGraw, Kenny Chesney fan, which I am not. I like country music. I don't consider them really country.
It's pop country.
It really is. So I'm not a fan of either of them. But I was like, okay, your boss is kind of asking. So I went because she's like, oh, hey, you're from Texas too. You'll love this. And I was like, okay, maybe I can get a promotion out of this or something. So I went with her to the concert. And at one point, Kenny Chesney is standing directly in front of the microphone. And as he would turn his head from side to side, it never changed. The sound never changed. Then the mic falls out of the stand. Mm-hmm. He catches it in the palm of his hand, and you don't hear the mic thud. You hear nothing except his lovely vocals.
Yeah.
It's like, dude,
he's not even singing.
Wow. He's not singing.
That's messed
at
up.
all.
That's messed up. So another thing that not Disney.
Does Disney own MTV at this point?
No.
Okay.
Another thing, they're just both evil. Another thing that MTV changed was the Super Bowl. So 2001, MTV started doing the Super Bowl halftime shows. And and that was the thing. First one was Britney Spears, NSYNC, and Aerosmith. And they asked them to come back because it was very successful. And then we got Nipplegate. Do you remember Nipplegate? Mm-hmm. Yeah, good job, MTV. I don't know about you, but I thought it was on purpose. Personally,
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it was. Because then it lives on. And
well, not only that, but the last line of that song is "Get you naked before the end of this song," and then he rips her tit out. So that's kind of
I'm not really familiar with any of their music.
Justin Timberlake or
no?
Yeah,
I can't stand Justin Timberlake.
What?
No,
he's entertaining.
I don't think so. I don't find him entertaining.
We've already talked about this.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
You don't like Justin Timberlake.
I don't like Justin Timberlake.
I get it.
Yeah.
So, there was also the moral compass thing. MTV got into a lot of trouble with Christians because of the Madonna thing, and them always sticking up for her. And
and they and that was about the time of the I can't remember RC. I'm going to say Royal Canadian Mounting, but whatever the Tipper Gore's group was that was wanting to put warning labels on albums. Right. MTV was right there in the middle of that, and they televised a lot of it.
Correct.
But that was a big part of it because now like you said, you had the visuals. So if somebody's putting out, like Ozzy or Ronnie James Dio is putting out an album, of course you want to do this gothic occult-like video to make it look even more creepy, like some sort of horror movie. So people were up in arms about that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And, people that had a resurge because of MTV. Let's look at Meatloaf. Meatloaf was nothing for the longest time.
True.
Then I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. Right. Came out, music videos, crazy gothic and weird, so he's back on the map.
Song. Yeah.
So they helped a lot. They helped a lot of radio stars to become video stars. But, it had to be done the right way. So you had to have the right creative match. A lot of good artists had crappy videos, and it would hurt their record sales. So...
Yeah, because some of them, it was just like them in a studio pretending to play music, and then they'd splice some stuff.
Right, yeah. It was like
it would kind of have like some sort of storyline going, then live play, or some was just straight up, here we are, playing in concert and gyrating.
Right.
Or you could have Nothing But a Good Time by Poison, where the poor kid in the restaurant cleaning dishes... stacked up, kicks open the door to see Poison playing in concert, and comes back and all the dishes are magically clean.
Right. I loved Patton Oswalt's take on heavy metal hair bands.
What was
in
that?
the 80s? He's like, if you liked heavy metal music in the 80s, you are gay. Because in every music video, there's always guys rubbing shoulder blades together in factories that apparently are producing sparks. That's all they make there. And they always show the women all hot and sexy, but they're far away from the band, like way over there, washing a car and getting their bodies all wet, but they're nowhere near the band. It's just, it's totally
Connie
true.
Connie Katane was close to Robert Coverdale.
Oh, yeah. She married that guy, so.
Yeah.
She was hotness.
That was a great video.
It was a great video.
That was a great video. Okay, so let me ask you this. Your favorite music video ever?
Yeah, that's hard, man. I don't know. I may have to go with Thriller just because it was so cool at the time.
And a mini movie.
Doesn't age now. It ages pretty badly, but it's still fun at the time.
Yeah, the music holds up, I think.
Yeah,
maybe not the video.
Up, yeah.
That's the thing, too. You can have music that holds up and not a video.
Exactly. A lot of them don't hold up now. You watch a lot of those old videos, and you're like, wow,
this
is
just
bad.
Cheesy. Yeah.
Bad stuff.
See, and yet I still, and I don't know why. To me, it's kind of like quintessential 80s. It's if somebody told me, hey, pick one song to represent the entire 80s. Uh-huh. I would pick this song, and I would pick this video. Aha, Take On Me.
There you go.
It's very... totally 80s, very classic 80s. I still think it's a cool video.
It's a very cool video, yeah.
Very well done. Different. They put some work into it.
Yeah, that's a very cool video.
That to me is kind of like the 80s right there.
Yeah. That Hot for Teacher is a good one too.
Yeah, but for completely different reasons.
Well, yeah.
That was the other thing is an adolescent male, you got to see a lot of TNA on MTV.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which was kind of a cool thing.
Yep. That's why the parents got all up in arms about it and started getting all high.
Well, yeah, because it made it easier because then you didn't have to wait for Skinamax to come on
right
late at night.
They showed that shit all day.
Yeah. So you could just find it whenever, and then you didn't have to go to the local convenience store to try to convince somebody that you were actually 18.
Right.
Like my friends did.
Back in the day, man. You had that extra little room where the porn was.
Not in my convenience stores, no. Video stores, though, yes.
Yeah, video stores. I'm not saying
when you have to go in and rent a video, they had the one behind the curtain or the door or whatever.
Yep, the
that
shame
everybody
room.
where everybody could judge you as you walk out. I don't think there's any shame anymore.
Right, you just walk out and go, what the hell was that?
Well, yeah, again, talking about the suburbs, you've got sex shops is a little too extreme, but you've got stores that sell adult novelties.
Condom Sense.
Yeah, right there in the middle of the suburbs.
Yep.
So, and maybe it's because people our age grew up with MTV, and it was just like, well, either now we have loose morals or we're not so uptight.
Right. I think MTV went a long way to educate the youth of today on some of those things. They had their own little movements they did where they were, trying to get people to think right. But I don't know if they put their heart into it 110% of the time. But, they did a lot
They did rock the vote. And to be honest,
rock the vote, fight for your right, all that stuff.
I think more people should become involved, but I don't necessarily want more voters. I want more informed voters. So if you're just telling these kids to go out and vote and they don't really understand the issues, maybe you should stay at home. But if they're going to get involved and understand the issues, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
And you remember it was Bill Clinton was on MTV.
Yes,
and
was.
That's where you got the infamous boxers or briefs question, which pretty much a low point for a president.
Yeah.
We've up until that time. I mean, we've sunk a lot lower.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Since then,
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, MTV did a lot of things right, but they really kind of backed the wrong horse. I think with going with the reality TV stuff. I think they kind of went the wrong direction, and they're not as big anymore. I mean, I don't know anybody that watches MTV. Apparently, they're still around, but I can't think of anybody that watches it besides
But even if they still did videos, would anybody care at this point? Or would it be – because how many kids actually watch TV at this point? Very few.
True.
They're watching YouTube.
Yeah.
Not even necessarily Hulu or Netflix. YouTube. Mm-hmm. So, I guess they're able to find it there. But what you mentioned earlier with Apple and MP3s – it really goes hand in hand with what MTV started to do because it really started to push the single instead of the album.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think to that extent, it's maybe even pushed us further that way.
I think though, back in those days, especially in the hairband days and stuff like that, they were still trying to produce quality albums because it was all about the tour. They wanted to have that tour. They wanted to have a whole bunch of stuff to play. Summer tours where you made your money. And there was a big machine involved in that. And I think nowadays it's more towards the single because there's really not that many bands out there.
Did you just say Poison? Poison did a quality album?
No, I'm just saying they tried to get
all about
They tried to get at least 4 or 5 hits on an album. You had one good side of an album and the rest of it was crap. Whereas nowadays you have one good single and the rest of it's garbage. So
agreed.
Or you'll have people that put out 5 or 6 singles before they ever even put an album out, and then you've already got half the album because you already had all the singles.
Which, they used to do that back in the 50s.
Yeah, that's
it
the way it was.
Watch the movie The Wonders. And I think we've talked about this before. That used to be it. You put out singles, and if it caught on, hey, you get to do an album.
And Richard Lester, the director of Hard Day's Night, is the man that was credited with inventing the music video with Hard Day's Night.
Makes sense.
Went on to direct Superman 2.
That's right, he did. After Richard Donner was
I don't know how much he actually
let
directed.
Go, yeah.
But
if you watch the 2 different cuts of it, you can see where the at least he didn't have the stupid plastic shield that he ripped off his chest. And hey, there's a new Superman on TV. Mm-hmm. The guy who's going to be on Supergirl.
I know, I saw.
Doesn't look too bad except for the way they attach the cape.
Yeah, the cape. That looks weird.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That looks really weird.
And plus, the suit looks rubber.
Yeah,
which
it'll probably look okay on TV, but.
Yeah.
I saw some pictures of it. I'm like, okay, yeah. I'll give it a go.
It'll probably be better than Batman versus Superman.
Anything is better than Batman versus Superman.
Did you there was an article by with Jeff Johns, like the creative director, and he was talking about how they're definitely changing the tone of Justice League.
Oh, yeah.
Because just like they did in the comics where it's like, our comics need to be about hope and not so dark. Mm. So they're making a change there. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. We're going to circle it back to Superman.
Yes, that's what we do.
Nerd stuff.
And go back to the episode where we hate on Zack Snyder. It's there. And
it's a classic.
You'll love it. People like that episode. We got a lot of listens on that. Yeah.
Excellent.
Either they hated it or they loved it. I'm not sure, but no comments.
So actually, it's in keeping with the theme of the show.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
So, yes, we killed that one. MTV sucks now. They need to do something different. I don't know that they're ever going to be able to come back from what they were, or if they,
Well, it's a different thing. It's not our MTV, man, but we're also not in high school anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how often, when do you sit there and get excited like, ooh, a new music video? We don't really keep up with that stuff.
They would have an app or something that would just, play music videos while you're
maybe
streaming.
Now, I think there's still whatever I don't know. There's some country the
CMT.
CMT. They used to show. I think they still show more videos, and then there's like Great American Country that I think has a lot more video related shows. But CMT's all reality shows now.
Yeah.
But it became an outlet for country music video. Did you know the job I worked in TV was playing music videos?
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
we had a morning show, and we would do it just like radio, traffic, weather, stuff like that. But instead of music, we played music videos, country music videos. So we had it was Brooks and Dunn were big, Clint Black, all of that. So that was my job when the year I worked in television.
Yeah, loading video cassettes in the old machine.
Actually, yes.
Was it beta or VHS?
It was the big tapes. What are the big
Three-quarter
VHS?
inch,
Yeah,
three-quarter
three-quarter.
stuff,
It
yeah.
wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would put those together and
Wow.
go from there. Rise and Shine El Paso with Nick Phillips
Wow.
and Roberta Varela.
Wait, Nick, were you Nick Phillips?
Nick Phillips.
Is that your name?
Nick Phillips. Yeah. It sounds better than Philip Pullman.
Right.
Because I'm starting with two soft consonants, and it
There
just,
you go.
Yeah,
Nick
it
Phillips.
Yeah. I stole that from the movie The Sure Thing with John Cusack.
Did you really?
I did. There's a scene. Okay, long story. College, going across country. He and the girl get kicked out of the car they were carpooling in.
Yeah.
She loses her money. They've got to hitchhike to California. So they decide, what if she looks pregnant? So they stuff her shirt full of a bunch of jackets and stuff to make her look pregnant so they can get a ride. They're in this old lady's station wagon, and she says, "What are you going to name it?" And they're like, "Huh? What? Oh, the baby." And she says, "Well, something like, Janet or whatever if it's a girl, and Elliot if it's a boy." And from the back seat, Cusack says, "Elliot? We're not naming my son Elliot. No, he's got to have a name. Man's name like Nick. Yeah, Nick's a real name. Nick's your buddy. Nick's the type of guy you can rely on. Type of guy who doesn't mind if you puke in his car. Nick." So when it came time, it was like, Nick.
Nick.
So
there you
that's how I became Nick Phillips.
go. You are now Nick Phillips on the show.
I'm fine with that. There are still people who only address me by Nick.
That's
believe it
funny.
or not. It's
That is awesome. That
Yeah,
is awesome.
I do like the name.
That's a cool name, yeah.
All right.
Nick
Well,
Fury,
we'll
Nick Phillips, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, all right, next show. That's what we'll start with.
Yeah.
I'll just say I'm Nick Phillips.
All right. Sounds
Cool.
like a plan.
Well, kids, we have wrapped up another episode. Thanks for spending some time with us and listening. We always appreciate it. And if you would like to send cards, letters, responses, questions, suggestions, you can do so at
On the Twitter sphere, at Love2HatePod. If you want to go to Facebook, you can go to our Love to Hate page and just, give us some comments and likes there. You can also reach us via Gmail at Love2HatePod on the Gmail. And if you want to check out the show, you can go to iTunes, you can go to Spreaker, and you can go to YouTube.
Excellent. We'll talk to you next week, kids.
See you later.